Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I review The Invisible Man, but I'm going to do things a little bit differently and review The Invisible Man with my brother as part of our Livin' La Vida horror other channel that we have, where we go into movies a little bit more at length in a more informal type setting. So check it out, our review of The Invisible Man.
Hello once more, I'm Eric.
And Janie.
And this is Livin' La Vida horror. So, what's the latest movie that we just watched?
The Invisible Man.
Wasn't it just great?
It was amazing. Yes. I went in thinking, expecting awesomeness, and it was awesomeness.
Totally delivered. Totally.
Yes.
Yes. Really have no complaints on this movie. It was very well done. I really wish that I want to go watch the old Invisible Man.
Okay.
And even Hollow Man, because obviously they're both invisible.
Okay.
And just kind of compare it and see what they were going for back then and what they went for on this one.
Okay.
So.
Any more thoughts on your overall assessment of the movie before we break it down a little?
Yeah, my overall. I'm bad with names, but I know that you watch her from Mad Men.
Elisabeth Moss.
Elisabeth Moss. I'm sorry, I don't really watch the show, but you were phenomenal. Oh my gosh. Just honestly, there's a ton of talented actors. I say actors, but actresses that would have, been able to fit the ingenue, the main role. But her caliber of acting was just amazing.
Yes, it was.
And if she brings that to all her characters that she does, then I'm sold. And I'll definitely have to check her out in other things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so I'll give my overall assessment, and then we can list the things that we liked.
Sure.
Would you like to do that? Okay. So my overall assessment of the movie, of course, like I said, it was awesome. Mm-hmm. I think that The Invisible Man has broken the suckiness streak that we had in horror.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about The Grudge, which I did like. But
you defended it.
I think the consensus was that it sucked.
Yeah.
So that, and then the disaster that was The Turning and Brahms the Boy 2 was horrible. Fantasy Island I categorize as a fantasy, and Hansel and Gretel is more of a dark fantasy.
Right.
And The Lodge I don't even think is horror. It's more of a thriller, suspense type movie.
And that one, honestly, I had really high hopes for, and it kind of let me down. It was still good. It was a great movie.
Okay.
But not this one, not Invisible Man. Overall, it was just amazing from start to finish.
Beginning to end, yes.
If there was any lulls, it was almost unnoticeable. And whatever that was happening that didn't have to do with not having to do with anything in the movie, but just giving a little bit of the side story or any lull, really fit perfectly into the situation.
Yes.
And it added to the movie. So yeah.
So overall, I can easily say that this is the best horror movie that we have gotten for the year 2020.
Yes, definitely.
So hopefully it'll get it'll keep going on a roll.
I'm trying to think if there's any other movies that we've seen non-horror. No?
No.
Then I'm going to, like my sister Janie said, for me it's the best movie that I've seen so far this year. So yes, I definitely recommend it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so do we want to go into the things that we liked? Would you like to list one?
Sure.
And I'll do one, or do you want to go ahead and just list yours?
I'm going to go ahead and list what I liked.
Okay.
Not beyond the realm of possibility at this movie happening, because for years now we've heard that the military's producing some sort of invisible kind of cloak where it's all cameras and what you're seeing is the recording image behind you, so it looks like it's going straight through. And the way they were able to mask it all, it was just amazing. So to me, the realism was there. One. Two, I don't know if I want to say that I like it, but I'm glad that they went there in the whole abuse aspect. It's one of those things that's been untouchable. Just before, when in horror movies, they would never kill kids. Now, kids, pets, everything. Nothing's sacred.
All bets are off.
Exactly. And what I like is that you saw the character have to go through what she did. They didn't show too much of it, beforehand. Obviously, she's, in the situation that she is, and she's wanting out, and that's kind of how the whole premise of the movie goes. So that was another thing, keynote that I must say that I liked. Again, the acting was phenomenal on all aspects. Every character was well developed. Even the ones that didn't have much screen time were still pretty well developed, so, the acting chops were there. And, oh man, the lifestyle this guy has, man, makes me want to go and invent something really cool so I can have that kind of life.
He was kind of like an evil, abusive Tony Stark.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. It's like
I would have torn up that Tony Stark shit on the way out, but that's just me.
So those are my things that I would say that I liked. How about you, sister? What did you think?
Okay, so first of all, it's funny that you were talking about his lifestyle, because the very first thing that caught my attention was the house. So I felt kind of guilty, because I remember leaning over and whispering, "Why is she leaving? Girl, why are you going? No. This house is amazing." And I am not trying to make light of what she was going through. Of course not. But it was really cool. And then the whole techie and the cameras, and it was by the ocean. You could hear the waves crashing at the beginning, which, by the way, reminded me of Sleeping with the Enemy. It was very Sleeping with the Enemy at the beginning.
Right.
So I love the house. That was the first thing that caught my attention. Number two, of course, Elisabeth Moss. If you can make me believe that you are being attacked by an invisible force.
Oh gosh, I know.
I mean, that could have looked really stupid. That could have gone very wrong, but she made it look good. And the fact that we didn't see her abuse, but her acting is so up there. It's so like great quality acting that she made us believe she was a traumatized. I mean, we felt her trauma without even having to see what this guy did.
Exactly, yes, and which was good too, because, like I said, they didn't delve too much into that, but you could tell that she was not happy. She was pretty damn upset, if you want to say it lightly. Scarred. Yes, very much.
She couldn't even go outside, and to me, that's probably like one of the most intense portrayals of an abuse victim that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
To where she didn't even want to go outside of her house. So her acting was amazing. And then later on, of course, she plays crazy really well. She did awesome with that. And then I would have to say the whole techie element, like you were saying, it's very timely. It's very believable.
Very.
And I love that whole thing. And the fact that he was, that was what he did. He was a genius. So that just made the whole story more believable, and I love, so I guess you could say the storyline, I love how they use Invisible Man, they use that for the Invisible Man, and then the whole story of the domestic abuse, because I can't think of anything scarier than having an ex that you're trying to get rid of be there all the time, invisible, and you don't know when he's there, and he's always there watching. Pretty terrifying. And Invisible Man wasn't even one of my things. So for me to like the Invisible Man, that is not something I was very interested in, the whole sci-fi thing.
Right.
So then the third thing that I really, is that three things?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So of course, Leigh Whannell. I think that like his directing had to work with Elisabeth Moss and her acting. Now his directing, he's making us believe there's something there. I mean, I'm looking for something. You noticed right away the knife.
Yes.
I mean, he had us looking. I'm over here looking for somebody that's not there.
Exactly.
And that is genius to me. His direction and Elisabeth Moss and her acting was a perfect combination. And his directing style, I love. Upgrade. You need to watch Upgrade. I think you will love it if you like Invisible Man. Leigh Whannell. I hope you do more stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I love that it had all of those things wrapped up into one. It had the thriller, the suspense, the drama, the sci-fi, the horror, all enveloped into this one awesome movie.
Just in a small little package.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And
I can't rave enough about it.
Were there any dislikes?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with what you mentioned before, and the security cameras. Okay,
Right.
so there's a part, and I'm sorry, if you have not watched it, then it's probably gonna get spoilery.
Yeah, just good time to go ahead and say goodbye. We love you.
Yes.
And
come back.
come back, and we'll have something else for you. But yes, right now, if you do not want it spoiled for you, now's the time to just go ahead and stop watching.
Yes. Okay, so what you mentioned about the restaurant and how, he kills his sister right there in front of her, and you're like, is there no security cameras catching that?
I know. There's security cameras everywhere.
So when I watch a movie, I suspend disbelief, but I think that this is something that people that are more detail-oriented, like you, and always look for the plausibility in the movie are probably going to have an issue with.
And not shitting on it by any means, but it's just, okay, well, why didn't this happen?
Right, you're going to have an issue with it, but I think that the movie overall as a whole was so fantastic that it makes up for that, wouldn't you say?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
That was really my only thing that, that I can say is that there were a couple things. His strength, like you mentioned.
Yes, that was my number one.
So do you want to explain that about with James?
This guy had freakishly insane human strength to be able to throw this chick, and granted she's probably about 95 pounds soaking wet. Still, it's not a small sack of potatoes. When he hit her, man, she went flying. Or the cop dude. Yeah, so my thing is, all right, were he and his brother acting as one and doing the same thing and torturing this poor woman, both of them? Because you find out later in the end, and the brother was in on it. His whole insurance, or what's what I'm looking for. Yeah, well, the money left over for
his inheritance.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
it had his clauses. Yes, she had to be right in the mind, not
can't be ruled insane.
Can't be ruled insane, can't be a criminal or whatever. So basically that was the whole premise of the movie. But you find out later that the brother supposedly says that his brother, the husband, Invisible Man, was very abusive to him too, and made everybody look stupid around him. But find out that they were in cahoots. Okay, so my question is, were they both working at the same time to throw these people around?
Right. And it's funny because you are so much more detail oriented that I just get in this movie and I'm like, okay, when you mention all those details. But if you think about it, this is Luke from Haunting of Hill House.
I know.
I get to pick up this cop.
Yes, it's
guy.
So she's mentioned he was like 6'3". Come on, man, this guy was huge.
Yeah,
he's in very good shape. That was my biggest one. But like I said, I'm not shitting on the movie. I loved it. And then just one other little minute detail: when she was up in the attic, she finds the phone where the Invisible Man was sitting there taking pictures of her. So there's proof right there. Hey, I would have been like, you know what? Let me send this to somebody.
Forward that shit right
now. Yes, right. A police, 911. Just everybody. Hey, remember when I told you I didn't hit your daughter? Look, here's the proof. That would have been enough. So that was my only two things.
I had to put that shit all over Facebook.
Hey, look,
Twitter.
Somebody's taking pictures of me asleep, and I don't know who it is, and he's invisible. So no.
And I did not do that. So
I did not do it.
You're right.
Those are my only things. But like you said, the greatness of the movie, the fantastic acting, everything, just way made up for it. I'm not gonna sit there and dislike a movie over something so minute.
Right.
I enjoy things.
Yeah. Okay, so to wrap it up, I say, well, I was gonna say go see this, but we're in the spoilery section. I love this movie so much, and I feel like it had mass appeal.
Yes.
Because like I said, the whole sleeping with the enemy, the whole relationship thing, that's gonna hit home to a lot of people. And this is a movie that we recommended to our parents who are not into horror per se. And they would love this movie. Then that's a sign of a great movie. I really think it has mass appeal.
They're gonna love the whole suspense aspect to it. They're gonna love the conclusions.
Yes.
So it just really wrapped itself up really nice at the end as well. Nothing that I could say bad about it. Just those two little questions. That's all. But like I said, it's minute. really has nothing to do with much. Just, I don't know if it was oversight or just whatever, but yeah, obviously I've been recommending this movie to everyone I talk to.
Yeah, even like the people that I know that are squeamish about horror, I think because of this whole storyline and the acting, I think they're going to love it. I mean, and don't get me wrong, there were scares in there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I'm sure if you've seen this, you will agree, just so much suspense on the edge of my seat. But yeah, this is one that I just recommend to, like you said, if you're on horror on training wheels, because you can't really watch, you know, really scary stuff.
This one's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
It's kids maybe not so much gonna like it
because of the adult themes in
right,
it.
but that's it. You know, if you're one of these adults that, you know, don't, like you said, don't really like horror, the suspense, the action, the conclusion, everything, you're just gonna love it. I'm telling you.
Leigh Whannell killed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say something else. I forgot what it was, but
sorry.
It's probably it's no big deal. No, it was great. Like I said, I very much recommend it. So
yes.
I don't know. Oh, one thing I was gonna ask. I know this is a Universal movie, and I know they started with The Mummy. They redid it with Tom Cruise. So I know that they were trying to do a whole extended, you know, monster universe, kind of like Marvel, with the whole movies tying them together. Do you think they're gonna make more? Or if so, which movie do you think they're gonna do next?
Honestly, I don't know if they're going to make more. I mean, probably because this has done so well. I'm not quite sure. I mean, we've had like Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy. What do we have? Frankenstein?
Okay. Frankenstein.
All I know is...
He's a millennial this time around.
Yeah. Get some good directors to do it and you could totally do it. Like I said, this guy.
Yep.
Although he's more of the techie type. But would you like to see more of those?
I would, personally. I did want to see The Mummy, the remake, whatever you want to call it.
I just can't get past Tom Cruise.
I know, Tom Cruise. I'm not a huge fan of him. That's okay though. If you are, that's fine. But I mean, I really wanted to see that one. That was one that unfortunately it tanked. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give you my take on it, because I'll probably be watching it in the near future now that, you know, I see that they're revamping the whole monsters. So
this gives me hope. For
yeah,
those
definitely.
Movies. It does.
Definitely.
Okay.
So yeah, if there's any movie that you would want us to watch and
review and ramble a little bit more about.
I don't want to say critique because we're not there yet. You know, I'm not a filmmaker, so. But yeah.
In my honest opinion, critique.
Critique. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything you'd like to plug, sister?
Oh, tell us where we can find you, my brother.
Well, yes, I'm on Facebook, obviously, Eric Alvarado. That's just my personal one, but I recently started a YouTube channel. It's EA Leyva, Leyva. Just look that up. It's basically just covers songs that I like. I don't know, you might like them too, but I try to put in a little bit of everything for everyone.
I love the name of it.
Don't judge a song by its cover.
Don't judge a song by it. And don't let him be. Don't believe his modesty. My brother's very talented.
Oh, thank you.
He plays all this stuff by ear and picks it up, so that's pretty amazing. You should go check his channel out.
I'm gonna plug one more thing though.
Go for it.
My cousin Brandon in Michigan. I've been wanting to hear some of his music, his band's music. They're called Mountain Babies. I just heard it the other day, and I'm like, wow, man, that's really cool. So now I'm like, okay, now I gotta catch up. So next time I'm over there, Brandon, I wanna jam with you and your band, dude. But because you guys are really talented. So yeah, that's another one. Mountain Babies.
Mountain Babies. Yes, I saw a little bit of that on there on Facebook. So yes, check out his channel. Check out his cover songs. I'm sure he will come up with much more. But what you have there is pretty awesome, my brother.
Thank you very much, sister.
Okay, so I guess this wraps it up for this episode of
Living La Vida Horror.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Adios.